a Karen decided it was a good idea to steal a home run ball from a little boy.
Sometimes you need that reset. Oh.
And Bader just unloads on this one. Deep left field, and that one is gone as Bader.
Crazy week for clowns making absolute fools of themselves at sporting events. And clip, we have this Karen at a Phillies game steal a baseball from a kid.
Now, when a home run is actually hit, folks, fans will actually try and get the ball. And in the video, to me, man, it looks pretty clear that the boy's father got the ball.
The internet's full-blown wrath. In the heart of Citizens Bank Park, what should have been a fun, lighthearted baseball game spiraled into a viral nightmare. A moment meant for childhood joy was stolen, literally, by an adult whose actions would turn her into the most hated fan in America overnight. But she didn't just grab a baseball. She grabbed headlines, memes, breakdown videos, and a reputation that'll follow her for life. So how did one woman's tantrum in the stands become a cultural case study in entitlement, outrage, and just how fast the internet strikes back? Let's break it down.
It's like she was made in a lab to be a Karen. She just epitomizes the meaning behind the insult.
Baseball traditions run deep, but few are as pure as this. A kid gets a souvenir ball and for one perfect second becomes the happiest fan in the world. Everyone knows it, everyone plays along, which is why what happened in this clip felt so wrong. The ball skips off the field and into the crowd. A father catches it, no pushing, no shoving, just a routine grab. He turns, smiles, and hands it to his young son, exactly what anyone would expect. Then it happened. Out of nowhere, a woman storms in, yelling, flailing, and within seconds, she yanks the ball away like a schoolyard bully taking lunch money.
From this part here because of a song that plays during it, but she gets right up in this guy's face barking at him. So I'm guessing he was saying something about like her behavior being embarrassing or something, so she did not take that lightly.
The stunned father doesn't argue. He gives it up, clearly trying to avoid a scene. Most thought that would be the end of it, but it wasn't. Instead of walking away quietly, she escalated. The woman yells something off camera, points aggressively, and waves her arms like she's conducting an orchestra of outrage. Within seconds, she's fully unhinged, screeching at the boy's father, gesturing wildly, and parading the baseball like she just hit a walk-off home run. But here's what stunned viewers most. She wasn't embarrassed. She wasn't remorseful. She was proud, and that smugness hit the internet like gasoline on a fire. Even in a stadium known for rowdy behavior, her performance stood out like a glitch in the simulation. The pitch of her voice? Piercing. Several TikTok comments compared it to a microphone feedback loop. One said it sounded like a fire alarm and a foghorn had a rage baby. Another described her shrieking as having the emotional stability of a Freddy Krueger villain missing brunch. And it wasn't just the voice, it was the body language. Hands flailing, hair flying, eyes wide, almost unblinking. It wasn't a disagreement, it looked like a live exorcism happening in section 112. At first, people laughed, thinking it was staged, until they noticed the boy, his tiny hands now empty, his face a cocktail of confusion, sadness, and betrayal. That one emotional detail shifted public reaction on a dime. What could have been a funny, rowdy fan moment instantly turned into outrage, because while adults debated ballpark etiquette, the boy was on the verge of tears and nobody could unsee it. One viewer wrote, "Everything changed the second I saw that kid's face." That wasn't comedy, that was cruelty, and it only got uglier. Not only was this woman raging over a ball that wasn't hers, but she was doing it in front of thousands of people with a child standing right there watching the grown-up world forget how to act. From the outside, this wasn't just a bad look, it was a spectacle. From the inside, it was a meltdown unraveling in 4K ultra memeable resolution, but listen to this, because cameras didn't just catch her tantrum, they caught the reactions around it. Fans seated nearby recoiled. One woman covered her mouth in disbelief. Others pulled back like they were watching someone short circuit. You could feel the vibe in the stadium shift. Like the mood went from, wow, crazy play, to, okay, this is getting weird. A few rows over, someone flinched every time she raised her voice. Another spectator shook his head in disbelief and muttered, "That's a kid. Are you serious right now?" One man's face said it all. Eyes widened, arms frozen in disbelief, like he had front row seats to the cringiest moment of 2025 and couldn't look away. The internet couldn't either. As the clip hit social platforms, it exploded, not just because of the weirdness, but because of what it represented. This wasn't just foul behavior at a Phillies game. It was a loud, painful, cringe-fueled metaphor for every entitled tantrum the world's ever seen. She didn't just act rudely. She doubled down, tripled down. She turned Karen mode into a superpower and tanked her dignity with the booster rockets on full blast. And the worst part? This was just the beginning. Within hours, the footage spread everywhere. But it wasn't just the fans reacting, the Phillies themselves stepped in. According to witnesses, players and staff coordinated with stadium security. They found the boy and handed him something he'd never forget: a signed bat straight from the team, way better than a ball. It was the clearest possible message. They knew who the real victim was. And while fans celebrated the team's classy move, something else happened online. The ball, the one the woman held like a trophy, people started calling it cursed, radioactive. The internet had officially chosen sides, and it was about to get messier. Once the woman began yelling that she had it first and the dad ripped it away, the internet launched into its favorite pastime: instant replay. TikTok users broke down the incident frame by frame. Reddit threads dissected the angle like analysts studying football footage. Even YouTubers zoomed, slowed, and measured every movement. The verdict: she never had it. The father got it cleanly. At best, maybe the ball bounced in her direction, but she didn't snag it, she didn't control it, no struggle, no snatch, just a bad story to justify a worse act. That lie turned the tide completely. At this point, the wave had hit. Now came the flood. Memes, edits, and remixes popped up across every corner of the internet. TikTok creators dubbed over her voice with horror music. Others added clown filters. Reddit threw her into side-by-side comparisons with fictional villains. And the name stuck: the Phillies Karen. It turned her into more than just a viral villain. She was now a cultural character, the kind who gets frozen into reaction gifs and late-night punchlines. Even Philly fans, the rowdiest in sports, turned their backs on her. A place known for booing Santa Claus decided she had gone too far. But that was just her local reputation. Her national one was still loading, and just days before her meltdown, the internet was already fuming about another adult stealing from a kid. At the US Open, a Polish millionaire CEO went viral for snatching a signed tennis hat out of a boy's hands. That clip had already been declared the worst fan moment of the year until now. Suddenly, two outrageous moments, back to back, different sports, different stages, but the same story: adults hijacking moments meant for children. Side-by-side edits showed both villains with one caption: "Meet the sports villains of 2025." It didn't matter where you were from, people around the world felt the same thing. That crossed a line. Even after the video went viral, she tried to defend herself. She claimed over and over, "He ripped it out of my hands, bro." But those words didn't match reality. Camera angles proved otherwise. Stadium ushers backed the father's story. Live footage showed no contact, no struggle, just a grab, a gift, and then chaos. And when she doubled down, the internet doubled the heat. She wasn't just entitled, now she was delusional. And the boy's face, his sadness, became the heart of the story. The emotional anchor that kept the internet furious long after the memes stopped being funny. But even worse than the memes, what happened at the stadium that night? Fans didn't just record her, they mocked her live In one viral clip, she stormed toward a man who called her out, shouting as if she were in court. The crowd laughed straight in her face. Another clip showed her walking in circles, barking at strangers, yelling back at anyone who filmed. Instead of walking away, she fed the chaos. She wanted to win, but she walked straight into total humiliation, and the ball still clutched in her hand like a clown holding the punchline to her own downfall. By the weekend, she wasn't just a Phillies fan, she was the Phillies Karen. And her face was everywhere. Mainstream news gave her full coverage. Barstool Sports mocked her on YouTube. Jimmy Kimmel cracked the joke. First, a CEO steals a hat. Now, a Karen steals a foul ball. What's next? The Pope tackling a kid for cotton candy? It was over. Her name, face, section, and seat number hit the internet. And whether she likes it or not, she'll never walk into a ballpark again without wondering if someone recognizes her. Because she didn't just lose her cool, she lost her anonymity. In an age where every fan is holding a camera and every reaction is on replay, there are no second chances. Her ball became a cursed trophy. Her tantrum became the week's main character, and her legacy, a permanent spot in the cultural hall of shame. The worst part, she tried to win, she thought she did win, but what she actually left with was Twitter's eternal reminder of what not to do. The Phillies rewarded the boy. The crowd rallied around him. Late night shows, sports blogs, Reddit, they all made her famous, not for catching the ball, but for losing something much more valuable.